morning everyone. I haven't recorded a video for a little while. If you're new to my channel, thank you for jumping on. This video specifically is one that I keep talking to my clients about, but I find is really difficult to do, and it's yin yoga at home. It's really important, especially if we're doing like the training, if we're lifting weights or doing movement or even doing yang yoga. What is super important is that we're also doing the opposite and doing yin. Yin is the only practice that allows us to get deep into the fascia and the connective tissue in order to allow us to heal, so that we're not constantly stressing the muscles and we give them an opportunity to lengthen and strengthen as well. So this is a yin video. I'm going to keep it pretty wrapped into about 20 or 25 minutes, and it's for those of us who don't have time for yin. I used to be one of those people. Yin yoga for me has been a lifesaver for my lower back. It's also been an absolute just godsend for my mind, because it teaches me that it's okay to be still, and I absolutely love the practice. So we are going to get started. As I said, I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm just using 2 blocks as props and a strap. You can use a dressing gown strap. Just use whatever you have available for you. I know how to do so clean clothes. I'm just going to bring this a little bit closer. Alrighty. So we're actually going to start our first pose lying on our backs, and we're going to start by coming into a supine butterfly. Now, there's heaps of different ways to do this. If you have a bolster at home, you can use a bolster. We want to have one block across the back of the shoulder blades. So if you think of where your sternum is, go directly opposite your sternum. I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together today and the knees out to the side. If you need support under your knees, you can pad them up. You can also rest your head on something. I like to let my head roll back and rest on the floor, but please make sure it is resting on something. So coming into reclined, supported butterfly pose. That's all you need to do. Let the shoulders become heavy, and you might even like to bring them out to a Y shape. There's no force in yin, there's no effort. We're not trying to engage any muscles, we're just giving ourselves the opportunity to stay and breathe. In this practice today, we'll be staying into the shapes for about 3 minutes. So when you arrive, just close down your eyes. We're here for about another 10 breaths. And I just invite you, now that you've been here for a couple of minutes, to just watch your breath, to become the observer of your breaths. As you inhale, notice how it fills up the body, how it fills up the mind. As you exhale, just notice how it creates some space, a sensation of letting go, surrender. 3 more breaths here. Take 1 more breath in and stay for your exhale. If your hands were in a Y shape, gently bring them in and support your head, slowly lifting up your head. That is not your ball, no. Slowly lifting up your head, and then from here you're going to gently draw the knees in. Allow yourself to roll to one side, move the block out of the way, and then just lie back down onto your back. And just try to straighten your legs and just notice what you can feel. So we want to come into this shape called a rebound, where we just allow the body just to, we allow the fascia and the connective tissue the space to reset and to reorganize itself. Take a breath in and a breath out. So we're going to stay on our back to this next shape. We're going to work into our hamstrings. And you should find my juggling balls. So you can use whatever you like here. So I'm using a strap. If you do have a yoga strap, you're welcome to buckle it and come into hammock stretch. But I'm going to show you both options here. This is one that I think everybody who sits in a chair or drives a lot needs to do. Gets into the back of the hamstring. It's a beautiful stretch. We're not trying to shake the leg here, so find that spot where you feel that first point of sensation. If you have a strap that you can loop, you're more than welcome to turn the buckle to the side, bring the strap up so that it is wrapped like a headband, supporting the leg, and you can extend the other leg out long, coming into hammock pose, and then we're just here. Our hamstrings are muscles that get so tight for a lot of us. They are a lot of the time restricted. A lot of the times in this Western world, we tend to sit a lot, which means that we're constantly shortening the muscles of the quads and the hamstrings, right? The hip joint is a ball and socket joint. It's meant to move around the hip joint, but we don't necessarily do that often these days. So these guys unfortunately cop the brunt of it, and the muscle shorten over time and practice of sitting. Because that's what we're doing, we're practicing sitting down the more we do it. And what we practice grows stronger. So it's so important that we're feeling our hamstrings tighten and they're like angry and stiff, then we're going to find that our lower back is going to be pretty similar as well. So this gives the muscles a little bit of love, and it gives, again, the fascia and connective tissue underneath the muscles the time to lengthen, where when we come into yin, we send the message from our brain to the target area, to everything that is underneath the muscles to actually soften and to let go of their grip under stress and tension or too much load, as in lifting too much weights, too many deadlifts, whatever it might be, or running. They're going to stay consistently tight, right? So yin, when we breathe into these shapes, we're just sending the message to these guys here that, yeah, it's okay for you to soften. It's okay for you to let go of your grip for a little bit and find some space. You have 10 more breaths here. Try to just relax into it. If you haven't got the buckle, of course, you're just holding onto the strap with your hands. 3 more breaths here. One more breath in. Under, breath out, release. We're actually going to slowly just bring that knee in. Bring in the other, and we're just going to find a happy baby here. I wouldn't usually do this sort of transition in a yin class, but being this is only a short 20 or 25 minute video, I really want to get the hips, the hamstrings, the abductors, and also a little bit into the lower back for you guys as well, just to give you guys something to practice at home if you don't have the time. Anything's better than nothing. So from our happy baby, we're actually going to bring the knees in. We're going to rock and roll up slowly. And the same leg that was up, that's the right leg. We're going to bring the right shin to the top of your mat. So it's going to be parallel to the top of your mat. Your right foot is in front of your left quadricep, coming into deer pose, a stretch for the glutes. Now, what's going to happen here is we're trying to push the knees down to the ground. We're engaging the belly. Take a full breath in. And as we exhale, you are welcome to use blocks here. We're going to start to fold forward over the shin, not over the quad, but forward over the shin. And just until you feel it, please prop yourself up with blocks if you need 2 or 3 blocks. It's not about forcing. I'm not trying to pull myself down to the ground. I'm just going to that point of first sensation at about 60%, keeping my knees pressing down into the ground. And then I'm just allowing myself now to forward fold. So you will get a really nice stretch here into that right glute, into the right hip, and possibly a little bit into the left quadricep and hip flexor. So what I mean by that first point of sensation, this is where the yin practice is so powerful. We reach this first point called our edge, and over time, the 3 minutes that we're here, the body starts to let go and you start to find a little bit more softness. So notice if you are holding tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your neck, and start to let go. For anybody out there that needs more into this one, this right foot can slide outwards, right? But that's way too much for me. You find where you need to be, this shape. Try not to move too much once you've arrived. It's about 10 more breaths here. Take one more breath in. breath out. Engage belly slowly. Come all the way up, and our transition is sitting up, extending that left leg long. We're now back into the hamstrings, but a little bit into the adductors. We're only going to be here for 1 minute. Bringing the left elbow on the inside of the left knee and just hanging out here and just opening into the side body here, but also getting a little bit into that left adductor. If you want a little bit more, you're welcome to hang that top arm over. We're just going to be here for 1 minute before we come into a straddle. If you need to, keep that arm down, that's totally okay. I just realised how tight I am in my body this morning. This is actually really beautiful for me to do this today, so I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you. Take 2 more breaths. Slowly coming up. Beautiful. Alrighty, we're going to actually bring that to the other side. Placing the other foot out to the side, bring that right elbow down. And just noticing this stretch in the side body. This may be more than enough. We're just here for 1 minute before we come into a full straddle. Breathe into the side of your body here. Two more breaths. One more inhale. And exhale. Engage your belly, slowly come up. Now if you know that there are any lower back issues, if you've got any bulging discs or anything like that, please avoid folding forward on this straddle. Slide yourself up against a wall sideways and allow your legs to open on the wall into a pancake. Now you can sit onto a cushion here. That's a really great idea. It'll help prop up the tailbone. You can soften your knees. You can put blocks under your knees like this. Alright, so support this as much as you need to. Again, if you've got the blocks, I highly recommend sitting on a cushion to then fold forward for your stretch into the inner thighs. So wherever you are, taking a full, just turn to the side. Taking a full breath in, and then as you exhale, just slowly starting to use your props, use whatever you need to in front to just slowly fold. And that's all you need to do here. This can be quite intense, but I just invite you to stay. See what you can find. Remember, stop when you get to that first point of sensation and then breathe in. And as you exhale, allow yourself to soften. Yin yoga gives you the ability to shift, to chemically change your state of being, right? In our days, we are constantly moving in and around our fight or flight, which is our beta brain, which means our brain waves are going really quite fast. We're active, we're not stopping. We're constantly doing one thing to the next, and we very rarely stop. To actually access a slower state of being, to move into our delta and our alpha states in our brainwaves, we actually need to pause and we need to slow down our breathing. And yin yoga helps us do that. When we start to focus on our breath and just slow down the rate of our breath and be still, we start to shift ourselves into our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest. And that is the only place where our bodies can heal. We can't heal in a state of fight or flight. In a state of doing, we are just doing. We are forgetting to be. So ask yourself the question, what's your balance? Are you always on the go? Are you always striving and pushing, or constantly running from one thing to the next, or constantly saying yes? How much time do you put into yourself? And if you don't, ask yourself the question, why? Allow yourself to get a little honest with yourself and take the time out. Because remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. There's 10 more breaths here wherever you are. Try not to force your way forward, just let it be. You have 3 more breaths to go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Engage your belly so much here. Do this so slow. So using your hands, keep your chin tucked in, spine is rounded, belly drawing to that spine. Slowly press up one vertebrae at a time. Keep the core engaged. And just allow yourself here to pause. And we're going to very gently just bring those knees in and a little bit of activation through the hips before we take that sequence back down to our hamstrings. So even in myself, I've noticed a huge shift in how I feel compared to when I started this practice as to what I do now. Maybe you feel the same. So this time the left leg will go in front, shin parallel to the front of the mat. The left foot on the outside of the right quad, both knees pushed down. Full breath in, use your props, exhale, forward fold. So just, oh goodness. You will notice, like I just did, that one side usually feels very different to the other, so honor that. Wherever you are and wherever you have folded to is perfect. You're exactly where you need to be. Try to let everything soften. You'll notice you'll have more time, more space over time. Very natural for the mind to wander. And if it has, don't judge it, don't criticize it. You know, we can sort of get in this space and get really frustrated and pissed off with ourselves for our mind wandering and think, why can't it be quiet? The more we focus on trying to shut it up, the more it's going to be noisier. So can we just move into a state of allowing? Just let it do its thing. But allow yourself to become the observer. You become the watcher of your mind and you realize that it's just thoughts. And your thoughts don't define you. They don't own you, they are not you. So when you give yourself permission to step away from your thoughts, you understand that it's just the chatter of the mind. And you come to the realization and understanding that it's just another moment. Take 3 more breaths. So take 1 more inhale. And exhale, stay. Engage the belly, please do this slow. This is so important, you move slow when coming out. Allowing yourself to roll down onto your back. We're coming into our hamstring stretch on the left. Grab your strap. Very natural to feel about 100 years old right now. And lying down, and whether or not you're holding on, if it's a dressing gown strap or you don't have a buckle, or you are coming into your hammock stretch with the buckle to the side and it goes around the head. And then just allowing yourself to be here for 3 minutes. And letting go of anything around you that may be distracting. Notice how you're reacting. If there's things going on or you can hear things in the background. Our reaction is key. Our reaction is a choice. It's up to us what we choose to, let bother us, what we choose to let in. The Buddha says, choose what you cling to, and it is the same with every single moment in our life. If things come up and they do, unexpected, what choice do we make to move forward from that moment? What do we let ourselves hook into? What story do we buy into? Just 5 more breaths here. Maybe you found a bit more space. So taking 1 more big deep breath in here. And long steady exhale, let it go. And gently taking that strap off. Just giving your knees a very, very loose, gentle hug here and pause. Let the arms go out to the side, let the knees flop to the left, hips are stacked, supine twist. You can, if you like, hold that top knee gently, we're not pulling it down. But make sure both your shoulder blades are on the floors, the right and the left side. Use your inhale to come back to the center, engage your belly. Use the exhale, stack the right hip underneath the left hip, supine twist to the other side. You're welcome to hold on to that left knee gently. And I don't usually do this, but I'd like to finish this practice in a supported bridge pose for our Shavasana or pentacle pose. So this is a really nice release of the lower back. I recommend using the block on the lowest height, sliding it underneath the pelvis and allowing your hips to be raised slightly. Maybe bringing the arms above your head and just taking 5 to 6 breaths here. If you would like longer, please take longer. It's just wanting to be a short video. But I invite you just to close down your eyes and just simply breathe in, noticing how you're feeling. And exhale, allow yourself to get a little heavier. So for those of you that have more time, I invite you to finish your practice here with the legs above your head. Supported shoulder stand. But if you are done with your practice and you have to move on,